Have you ever suddenly lost interest in something you once loved? Maybe it was a hobby, a project, a game, or even a dream you once felt excited about every day. At the beginning, it felt effortless. You didn't have to push yourself. You could spend hours doing it without getting bored. But then something strange happened. One day you tried to do it again, and the excitement just wasn't there anymore. The motivation disappeared. And the confusing part is this: nothing bad actually happened. You didn't decide to quit. You didn't suddenly hate it. The interest simply faded away. Many people think this means they lost passion, or that they became lazy, or that they just didn't have enough discipline. But psychology suggests something very different. Losing interest in something you once loved is actually a very common pattern in the human mind, and it usually happens for a few specific reasons. Let's start with the first one. The first reason is something psychologists call novelty loss. When you first start something new, your brain experiences constant discovery. Every moment feels fresh. Every improvement feels exciting. Your mind is learning patterns and solving new problems, and this process activates the brain's reward system. That's why new hobbies feel so exciting in the beginning. But over time, your brain begins to understand the activity. The patterns become familiar. The surprises become rare. And when your brain can predict what will happen next, the excitement naturally decreases. The activity didn't change. Your brain simply stopped experiencing it as something new. Now, here's where things get interesting. The second reason many people lose interest is something called the plateau effect. At the beginning of learning something, progress happens quickly. You improve fast. Every practice session feels like a breakthrough. But eventually, progress slows down. Your skills still improve, but the changes become much smaller. And your brain stops noticing the progress. Psychologists have found that the human brain is highly motivated by visible progress. When progress becomes harder to notice, motivation naturally drops. That's when many people begin losing interest, not because they hate the activity, but because their brain no longer feels the reward of improvement. But there's another psychological reason that many people never consider. The third reason is identity change. What you enjoy is often connected to how you see yourself. As people grow older, their identity evolves. Their values shift. Their priorities change. Their goals become different. And when your identity changes, your interests often change with it. Something that once felt meaningful may no longer match the person you are becoming. Your brain begins searching for activities that align with your current identity. This doesn't mean your past passion was fake. It simply means you have grown. Now, the fourth reason might be the most common in modern life. It's called mental overload. Today, our brains are constantly processing information. Notifications, messages, responsibilities, endless decisions. When your mind becomes overloaded, even things you normally enjoy can start to feel like effort. Your brain is already using energy to manage stress and responsibilities. So when you return to a hobby you once loved, your brain doesn't feel curiosity, it feels fatigue. And when the brain feels tired, interest disappears. But here's the part many people misunderstand. Losing interest does not always mean the passion is gone forever. Sometimes it simply means your brain finished exploring the most stimulating phase of that activity. Human curiosity naturally moves in cycles. At first, curiosity rises, then it peaks, then it slowly fades. And eventually the brain begins looking for the next challenge. This is how the human mind evolves. So if you suddenly lost interest in something you once loved, it doesn't necessarily mean you failed. It might simply mean your brain finished one chapter of discovery, and now it's looking for the next one. Understanding this can completely change how you see motivation, because what feels like losing passion may actually be your brain searching for growth. And sometimes, after time passes, curiosity can even return again. If this explanation made you see your own experiences differently, you're definitely not the only one. Many people go through this cycle without ever understanding why it happens. And the more you understand how your mind works, the easier it becomes to understand your own behavior. If you enjoy exploring psychology and human behavior like this, make sure to subscribe and like, because understanding the mind is often the first step to understanding yourself.